Shalom, balance, paradise, righteousness, all. Back in the lab, special guest, Louisiana series, kicking it off. Legend, Lil Ya, UNLV, Uptown Niggas Living Violent. You heard? In the building, welcome, sibling. Honors. Thanks for blessing the broadcast with your presence.
What's up, man? Thanks for having me, man. It's your boy, Lil Ya, aka Mr. You Hoyt Me, one half of the notorious group UNLV representing. You Hoyt Me? What's good?
Our cheer, long overdue, man. We definitely got it sorted, man. The the
Right.
st the storm done passed.
Yeah.
Technology is now allowing us to do this here, man. So give
Yeah.
thanks.
Before we start, we do want to let y'all know that we tried to get y'all this interview last week, but the storm wouldn't allow us to. So just bear with us and let's get through it. You Hoyt Me?
For shiggity, man, for shiggity. So in time honor tradition, man, we're gonna jump into this year DeLorean, man, and we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back in time, rewind time to the childhood. So let's go back to the conception or the inception, sorry. Born and raised. Let's lay out, man. Where was you born and raised,
Well,
sibling?
yeah. Well, I was born and raised in New Orleans. My government name is Yafet Jones. I was actually born in the uptown section of New Orleans, the third ward part. You know, we have wards in New Orleans, and I was born in the third ward where they have the three projects: Melphamine, Magnolia, Callio Project. You know, we have Master P from the Callio Project and Baby Cash Money Records from right around the Magnolia. He says that he's from the Magnolia, but the 13th ward is like the third ward neighbor. So, you know, he get a pass for that. You feel me? I'm from 6 and Baronne. That's in the middle of the Magnolia Callio Project. You know what I'm saying? That's the section. Is not as I should say it's not as much poverty it is as in the projects, but it is the ghetto, it's the gutter. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do to survive out there. You got, drug infested, everything, nothing but love though, you know what I mean? Nothing but love, a lot of killing and everything like that, violence going on. But for the most part, it's a lot of love, man. You know, takes a village to raise a kid, and we stand on that in the hood where I'm from.
Mm, for sure, man. That's facts, man. That's facts. Unfortunately, as you already know, sibling, your city had was leading the murder rate at one point. You
Yeah,
know.
94, actually 94, 95. We was leading the murder rate. We was number one murder capital in the United States.
Mm,
We're not glorifying it, but just letting you know where I'm from, you know?
definitely, man. So, being as you said, there was, within most neighborhoods, we have the good and the bads and the ugly. Majority of your talking about is the good part. Paint me a picture, Mike, because I remember Rising Paradise Magnolia Slim, aka Soldier Slim, saying, if you made it off the poach in 94,
Yeah. Yeah, if you was off the poach in 92 and you made it off about 94, you survived the ghetto, man. You're a gangster, straight up.
so what was it like, man? So try and paint me a vivid picture as you're saying where you was at. It was, it was nice, but it wasn't plush, it wasn't sweetie town. Shit was still going on, but it wasn't the projects, right?
Yeah, you didn't. I came from a fortunate family. My on my block, I think I was the only. Well, I was actually the only dude, the only kid out there that come from a home with a mother and a father. That wasn't my stepmom or my stepdad. You know what I mean? My mom and my dad was my biological parents. They raised me and my two sisters. You know, we was like the first on the block to have cable because my mama was fortunate enough to have a good job, college education, so she was considered blue collar. My daddy, on the other half, he was from Chicago. He met my mama when she was in college in Chicago. So they moved. They decided to move back to New Orleans with it. He bought that gangster life to our block and to our family. You know, he was one of the biggest weed dealers in New Orleans during the time. You know, I'm not saying that to glorify it,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm keeping it real with y'all, letting y'all know what kind of background I come from. You know, so I had the best of both worlds. I had my dad's street level, my mom book smart. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
I was the type of kid that I chose to do the things that I did because of, I guess, because of the crowd I was running with or whatever. You know, it wasn't nothing left to, it wasn't much to choose from for us crowds to run with in our hood. You know what I mean? And I got a high school diploma, got 2 years of college under my belt, and I think that comes from my mom. And you know what I'm saying? I'm also street smart,
Yes.
real,
Hey, so
really street smart.
so
I,
simply,
I
so how difficult was it? Because for most young black males, generally you're not gonna have complete, like for instance within America, get a GED, for instance, and all those kind of things. Like how did you balance that?
well, I was getting to that point. I would be like the type of kid that I do my work in class, but as soon as I finish my work, I ask for a pass for the restroom or whatever, and I would never come back to class until the next day. You know, I automatically finish my work and go get off into something. I guess I say I was blessed enough not to get caught all the time because my friends, my partners stayed getting caught, and I never would get caught. And I was doing the exact same shit they was doing, except I would finish my work before I do it with them. You know what I mean? My mom, my dad, and my mom especially instilled education on me. You know what I mean? She wasn't having. I couldn't come home and with a bad report card and expect to get what I want from her. You know what I mean?
Mm,
But if I come home with a good report card, she gonna give me whatever I want. My dad, on the other half, he was like, he was more hard on me, as far as the streets, and I'm not saying he didn't care about my education, but he always like told me what what'll be a better move to make on the street, or you know what I mean, like if
mm,
somebody would try to introduce me to any like guns or marijuana or something, he would be the one to come on and be like, nah, I don't do that. You know, this is this and this. You know, he'll really introduce. He wouldn't hold nothing back from me.
right.
You know what I mean? And he really wanted me to get the game from him instead of going on the street and getting the wrong game. In
Truth.
other words, So yeah, like that,
Mm,
man.
for shiggity. Okay, okay. So what was your interest school wise? Are we into athletics? Are we balling? Are we footballing? Are we doing music? Like what was your thing? School days.
At school, well, band was my thing. I was always in a band. Every school I went to, I played music. You know, far as the game, and I had time for the game once I got out of school and band practice or whatever. You know, I go on the block, watch the OGs get their hustle on or whatever, learn how to do it from my
Mhm.
daddy and the OGs on the block, and I chose that route.
Okay.
You know, I was fortunate enough never to as a juvenile, never got caught up and went to prison or nothing like that. That was the older days or whatever. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? But
S-
I was good at it, man. I mean, I was one of the best uh drug dealers uh, that you can find. I mean, I give it to God because I knew I didn't get given a chance. I could have got popped. He was watching me. My
mm.
people was praying for me. You know what I mean? But
Yep.
I was real good at it, bro. My dad always told me, if you choose this life, make sure you good. You know.
Okay, so that's the schooling. So you say you went to college as well? You did the college thing?
Yeah, I went to Delgado Community College for 2 years. Took a business class and a music class. You know.
Okay, so these kind of times, I guess we're looking to go down the entertainment side. Hence, you've taken business and
Right, exactly. I
okay.
took the business class because and as y'all know, we started our own company in '99, and I wanted to get a little more sharper in the business on the business level.
Hmm.
And like I said, music has always been my life. Always been affiliated with music some kind of way. So the music class was only right that I jumped in it. You know?
Definite. Okay, so musically wise, as a little one, before we start actually doing the thing and actually start putting your vocals down, who are we bumping, man? Who we got on rotation?
I couldn't understand the question. I didn't hear the question. I'm sorry.
So as a youngster, who are we listening to? Who we got bumping?
Oh, who we bumping in the tape deck? Well, my personal favorite was like Rakim, Fat Boys. We bumped them, but as a group, UNLV, we always bump NWA, man. That was like our idols.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, everybody looked up to somebody.
Yeah.
Everybody might say it, but we really loved that group, man. We didn't try to idolize them or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Portray them, but that was our favorite. We wouldn't. You listen, pull up it to in that 1 hour cars. That's what we bumping NWA, some kind of form and fashion.
For sure, for sure. Hey, what was your best album? What do you rate as the best NWA album?
I think uh straight out of Compton.
A lot of people say that. I would say
I think straight out of Compton.
I'd say it's a toss between that and Niggas for Life.
Yeah, hell yeah, hell
Oh,
yeah.
all right. So that's on a West Coast level. When are we starting to pump some of this boot, some of this Louisiana rap?
Well, to be brutally honest with you, we never really idolized anybody from New Orleans or Louisiana. We never really played their music. We had like Everlasting Hitman, DJ Jimmy, some dudes that was out before us, our forefathers. We
Hmm.
respect them to the fullest, but we never really studied their music. You know what I mean? And it
Yeah.
wasn't really a favorite of ours. I mean, we supported them
Yes.
because they're from New Orleans, but they wasn't a favorite of ours. You know what I'm saying? And actually, the bounce, since bounce music took over New Orleans,
Hmm.
we was one of the we wasn't the first to start bounce music, but we was the first to put gangster lyrics on bounce beats. And I think the influence that NWA had for us, rapping gangster music and stuff like that,
Hmm.
we took that, we was well at that. But we also understood the method of New Orleans. I mean, you can't win unless you're doing bounce music out
Yeah.
there. So we just took the bounce music and put gangster lyrics over it and
Oh.
won.
Hey, okay, then siblings. So for some of the siblings and listeners who have heard this term bounce music, right? But they don't
Right.
know nothing about that dear mind. So try and paint a vivid picture, like explain like in a snapshot, like what is bounce music?
Okay. Bounce music is basically a call and chant type music. You have your 808s, you have your trigger mans. With trigger mans is a
Yeah.
trigger mans it come from New York. Y'all heard of the group Brown what's the name of that group? Trigger Man. I can't remember the name of the group, but they made the song Trigger Man.
Hmm.
And DJs would usually put a Trigger Man album record and a Brown Beach record and make a beat out of it. And you know what I'm saying? Make one beat out of it. And during the beat, you would hear rappers say stuff like, "Oh, what wall you from?" And everybody say that third wall. It's like a call and chat.
Yes.
And it's repetitious. Is not much of rapping going on. No rapping is going on, but it's repetitious call and chants that's constantly going on.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So that
Trigger
that's
man.
that's basically your foundation of bounce music.
Triggerman was the Showboys.
The show boys, exactly. Thank you.
Yes, yes.
The show boys.
All
Yep.
right. So let's give some of the siblings and listeners some more game on this here, mine. Cause a lot of the the dances, a lot of the stuff that was done, especially on the female side, is
Right. Right.
and the terminology that was used. Like for instance, when the Sistrians used to catch the war and twerk, yeah.
Yep. Yep. The dances. Yep. Definitely. The dances was dance. They used to do all those dances off of bounce music. So all bounce music come from those dances. The origin come from bounce music. Really. You know what I mean?
Would you say that bounce is like
It,
a Louisiana version of Miami bass?
no, I won't say Louisiana. I would say New Orleans version of Miami Beach
Okay.
because you have bounce is only like really big in New Orleans. The rest of Louisiana, they don't come from bounce music.
Hmm.
I mean, they may try to do it or whatever, but New Orleans created bounce music.
Right.
New Orleans only, not Baton Rouge, not Lafayette, not Lake Charles, Shreveport. New Orleans. Got to get that straight.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say they're from. Well, when you say you're from Louisiana, you gotta make sure that you say you from New Orleans if you're from New Orleans, because you may be from Lafayette, Louisiana, and New Orleans has a total different identity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They talk different and everything from us, man.
That's an excellent point, Sibling. That's a very good point. And even within, well, you be able to answer this. Even within the within New Orleans as well, New Orleans, within that itself, you've got your own slight different variations in how y'all speak and shit.
Right, right. Totally different, man. We have our own slangs and shit. You heard me?
Like okay, so like Wardy.
Yep, all that. That come from us, man. New Orleans. And if you hear somebody from Lafayette, Lake Charles, whatever saying talking like that, it's because they from New Orleans, they live out there, they know a lot about New Orleans, or they just stunting, they trying to act like they from New Orleans.
It's
It's real,
if yo listen because it's the shining light, man. You know, it's the shining
right?
light at the place. I mean, you know, yeah. I think who else is big outside of New Orleans?
Who else is big outside of New
Yeah,
Orleans?
like who did it? Like me, CeeLo. That's
Yeah,
Baton Rouge,
CeeLo.
right?
I mean, Baton Rouge is doing their thing. Baton Rouge been on the spot, been having the spotlight for like the last 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We got Boosie from
Mm-hmm.
Baton Rouge. You got
Badass Boosie.
you got CeeLo from Baton Rouge. You got little Webby.
Weeby,
You
yep,
got a
yep.
lot of different acts from Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge is has had the spotlight for a minute now.
Mm-hmm.
But New Orleans is I guess basically by from No Limit and Cash Money, it's like almost controlled. Go open the door, man. My bad.
All
It's
good.
almost controlled by New Orleans. So
Yes,
that's
yes.
Louisiana control because of No Limit and Cash Money and the things that they did.
Mm. All right, and so when do we start putting pen to paper and start doing this here, man? When did that evolution take place from being down with the NWA and reciting the verses and you know what I mean? When do we start doing the putting shit down?
Uh, when did we come out? That's what you're asking.
No, no. No, before you come out, I'm saying before you even come out, when did you start actually saying to yourself, "Yeah, man, I'm gonna start putting some verses down."
Oh man, it was before. Uh, it was before we got on NWA because me, Tech, and my little sister was a whole nother group before UNLV. We was a group called the Sporty MCs, and this was the early '80s, and NWA wasn't even out at the time. And during these times, we used to rap on a positive level. We used to get in talent shows, and that was the very beginning of our rap career. We used to get in talent shows, and we won every talent show in the city, and you know, done all those type of things, and won a contract. And back then, the music game was crazy, so we won a contract and didn't get to cut the record. So that like really stopped our drive for wanting to be an artist, wanting to be a rapper. So we left it alone up until we made the age of like 18, 19.
Mm,
That's when, the NWA era, we was like reciting their verses and stuff then. But we had already knew how to pick up that pad and pen and write raps.
from earlier, from what would you say, from like what, mid 80s you was doing that there?
Excuse me?
You say from what, mid 80s you was doing what, the sporty MCs thing?
Yeah, we was like 12 and 13 years old. My little sister was 3 years old at the time, rapping her ass off. It was unbelievable.
For
For
shiggity,
real.
hey. All right. So what made you come up with the name? Where did sporty MCs, how did that evolve?
Oh, I think I don't want to be wrong on this answer, but I don't really remember where we came up with the name Sporty MCs from. I'm
Hmm.
thinking my uncle gave us the name, which who was our manager at the time. But I can remember, I can remember vivid how UNLV name came up. You know, once we started back rapping and going in bars and shit. We didn't want to go by the name of Sport MCs.
Hmm.
It's not that we had it was a new group, it was a new identity too.
Yes.
During this time now, we not rapping positive anymore. We cursing and using profanity and degrading women, and that's the shit that bounce music. Bounce music does all that. So that's what we was into then. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
I have this friend named Damien. Damien and a couple of his partners, they went to Catholic school, and they was, I ain't gonna say real good dudes because they used to be off into some wild shit. But they used to call themselves UNLV when we was like a little younger. So when we decided that we wanted to rap again, I just told Damien that we was gonna use that name sport UNLV.
So was Damien rapping, or was he doing something else under that UNLV thing?
Nah, they wasn't rappers. They was just a gang of dudes that used to hang together. They
Okay.
wasn't rappers at all.
Okay. That was just like a click basically, right?
Yeah, click, exactly.
Right.
So we
Okay.
took their name and we ran with it, you know what I mean, for our group and also our clique. To be
Mm.
honest with you, before we even start rapping, we had took their name and used it for our clique. We were like, man, y'all Catholic boys, man, y'all ain't doing nothing with that, man. Let us get that.
Hey,
So
so
man,
hold
we
on.
was wild the fuck out.
So as you say, Damien and them were Catholic boys, and they're talking about being uptown niggas living violent.
Right. They was. I'm not trying to make them look soft by any means. They was some real dudes,
Oh,
but they
okay. So
wasn't gangsters like us. We was gangsters.
right, right.
You know what I'm saying? For real, for real.
Yeah, that okay. That's an excellent little acronym, because I remember the first time when I first came across the CD and I was thinking UNLV, because I'm thinking that's like some college thing, or like
Right. A lot of people thought that. And then it's ironic because when our name got hot, that was the same year UNLV had won the finals. The
damn,
basketball team won the finals with Tarkanian, and the coach was Tarkanian and all that type of stuff. So everything played out well, man, with our name.
for shiggity. Now just imagine, yo, fast forward, just imagine this was 2020 when all this was taking place. The amount of push
Right,
you'd have got with
right,
that taking place, rappers, a group coming out making all that noise, and then UNLV doing the thistle on that, in that respect. Hashtag UNLV would have been blowing up.
right. Man. Viral every day.
For sure. For sure. So before I jump onto the to how we get onto Cash Money, what's
Mhm.
piqued my interest is the sporty MC thing, because I know of an artist, Rising Paradise, Sporty T.
Uh-huh.
is is there any connection with Sporty T and y'all and UNLV?
No, not at all, not at all. Sporty T, you said?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sporty T is a guy. He was a bounce rapper from New Orleans,
Mhm.
and actually, he was one of our forefathers because him and the dude Gregory D, they was like the first group to ever get signed by a major label from New Orleans. They was the Ninja Crew, but
Oh,
one of the
didn't.
guys' name was Sporty T. He was murdered in like 2006.
Mm,
But there's no connection with Sporty T and the Sporty MCs.
okay.
Sporty is just a word that we use in New Orleans, meaning that you're fresh.
Right.
You know, you fresh with your clothes and stuff like that. You're looking sporty.
Okay.
So that's
Oh,
that's what you know. That's where the word sporty comes from.
and he had there wasn't there some conflict with him and Cash Money?
Yeah, it was later known that Master P put some money behind him to diss Cash Money with a group called the Wet
The
Boys or
Wet
something. But
Boys. Yeah, yeah, I remember.
I don't know how true it is or what happened with it or what, but yeah, that was known.
Okay. Yeah, man, I got that slowed and chopped. I got the regular version as well, that Wet Boys.
Oh, okay, okay.
Rise in Paradise to Sporty T. So back to UNLV. So we are we before Cash Money itself, are we putting out music locally, or are we getting signed pretty much straight off the strength of what you're coming up with?
Before Cash Money, we was we only had a single actually, but we put it out ourselves. And how we did that, we would go in this bar named called Newton's every Sunday. And we didn't have any other gig to go to. We would go to Newton's every Sunday,
Hmm.
and we would like grab the mic, make a me taking Yella, start rapping in there or whatever, and have the crowd just jumping. And it just so happened one night we went in there and just made a tape. And once we made the tape, I decided that we should start dubbing the tape and selling the tape for $5. And me and Tech would tape. Actually, it was just me and him on a song that we taped. It was called "Another Bitch," and we would tape that on a regular cassette tape and sell it for $5 each day. And we would make it our goal to sell at least 100 tapes a day
Ooh.
and record another 100 tapes that night. And we done that for like maybe 2 months. And Baby and Slim got a hold of one of those tapes for some kind of way. I don't know, but we never heard of Cash Money at the time. We never knew it of them or nothing. You know what I mean? So they arranged a meeting through this guy named Kev. Kev was T Bone's friend, and T Bone was the one that actually recorded us. So once we had,
He
they
was the
scheduled the meeting,
was
huh?
he like the producer recorder or
Yeah, T Bone is a producer. He's still producing. Yeah,
right?
he's a producer. But once they arranged a meeting with us, Baby them told us that they had Fresh over there, Manny Fresh. We didn't know of a Manny Fresh. Well, we did know Manny Fresh because he was Gregory D and Sporty T's DJ. He was their producer. I
Right.
told out the first group that ever got signed out of New Orleans, and Manny
Mm,
Fresh was their producer. So they were so excited about getting Fresh that they told us that we didn't need T Bone with us. They had Manny Fresh, and that was the in-house producer.
hmm.
So, we explained that to T Bone and he was cool with it. So, that's when we signed the paperwork. We signed the contracts. And that
And
was 92.
92. So how old was he when we did that when we did that deal?
We was 18. Me and Tech was 18. Yella was getting ready to make 18, but he didn't sign when we signed. I told you it was only me and Tech on that song, so they signed us as UNLV, as a group. Yella always hung with us and always was a good friend of ours, like family.
Hmm.
And used to tag along with us all the time. And he pushed himself to start rapping, learn how to rap. So once
That's
we
how it
got ready,
started.
huh?
That's how he got started in. So he wasn't originally like rapping, he was just like hanging
Nah,
with y'all.
nah, he became one of the greatest, man. He's one of the goats of Louisiana, of New Orleans, for
Definitely,
real.
bro. Rise in
But
Paradise,
once
man.
we started working on Six and Baronne, which was our first album, they had the Cash Money had re put the single out. The same single that we gave them, they put it out. They packaged it up and put it out. But once we started working on Six and Baronne, which was our first album, we signed Yella to the group.
Mm.
That's how you get the Eddie Bauer song and
I was just
all
gonna
that type of
ask you
stuff.
about the Eddie Bauer because that was major, right?
Right. It was our first single, and it made a lot of noise.
And then y'all have a like a some like a dance to it as well.
A what?
Wasn't it like a dance or something to it?
Yes, exactly. It was a dance song called Eddie Bauer. Right.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Those are the days, man. So paint the
Yeah.
picture, man. So, right, you've been listening to NWA and all that there. You got UNLV going, Yella's tagging on with y'all. You get signed to Cash Money you didn't know about. You obviously know about Manny. So you do the Six and Barone, start to bubble. That single comes out, starts to make hella noise. How you feeling?
Oh man, we was like we felt we was about to blow, man. We knew it was on and popping. You know what I'm saying? We knew it was on and popping. Right after Six and Barone, we decided that we wanted to stay consistent with it. You know what I mean?
Mm,
We went to write albums like back to back. It wouldn't take us no longer than a week to do the album. We had the best producer in the world on our team.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? All Baby and Slim them had to do it. Book our time, book our studio time. We was dealt with the songs, Fresh was dealt with the tracks. And that was it, man.
And also the times when Manny was going in with the production.
Right, right.
So you're on Cash Money. You don't put the album out. What was your relationship like with? Well, actually, okay. So at this time, was the foundation artist still there, or was it just y'all on Cash Money at this point? So Kilo
Nah, it
G.
was it was at this time with 93.
Mm.
93, it was the first artist, which was Kilo G. It was PMW. And right before Six and Baron came out, they signed an artist by the name of Lil Slim.
Oh,
We
Lil
were the only four
Slim.
artists on the label at the time. They later signed BG, Miss T, Ivan, Lil Wayne, and who else? And Heavy. But
What about Pimp Daddy?
we was the only group.
What about Pimp Daddy?
Excuse me.
What about Pimp Daddy?
Stop locking the door, son. What you say? I'm sorry, man.
What about Pimp Daddy?
Yeah, Pimp Daddy. I got Pimp Daddy signed. I actually walked Pimp Daddy through uh two Cash Money and help Baby get him out of his contract. Actually, Baby gave me the money to pay his lawyer, and I had to go to court with him. I'm also the reason Juvenile signed with Cash Money.
Okay, so
I,
all right. So let's give some more detail on that there, because so who was Pimp Daddy signed to before then, sibling?
Pimp Daddy was signed to Full Pack,
Okay.
and he wanted, we was real cool with Pimp Daddy, and he hung uptown with us all the time, and he wasn't going to stop until he became a part of Cash Money. So he asked me to do that for him, and I done that for him.
Mm,
As far as Juvenile, Juvenile was at the bus stop. I never forget picking him up, bringing him to the studio, and telling him to rap for Baby them. He was like, "Man, I ain't with DJ Jimmy no more, man. I need a contract. I need a contract." I said, "I
mm,
got you." I knew Baby them was gonna sign him instantly because Juvenile is awesome, bro.
mm.
He always has been good, always good.
And he was
So
making noise. Well, he was making noise. Prior to that, wasn't he? Before Cash Money, wasn't he like doing a lot of bounce stuff, right?
yeah, he was doing bounce with DJ Jimmy. He had a
Okay.
song called "Bounce for the Juvenile" that was nationwide. They had a deal and everything on it. He made a lot of noise and sold a lot of records with it. You know.
Yes, indeed. Okay, so Full Pack, correct me if I'm wrong. Full Pack didn't they have Trey 8 signed?
Who Trey 8?
Yeah. Wasn't Trey
No,
8 Full Pack?
nah, not to my knowledge.
So who was on Full Pack then? What other artist was on Full Pack?
Full Pack had a guy named I think they had Juicy, a girl named Juicy,
Am I thinking of
and
the wrong?
I'm not sure they had Daddy O, but I could be wrong. It's been a
Okay.
long time now.
Daddy, I recognize that name. Okay.
Well, anyway, just to make you more make you try to remember who Full Pack is. They just had one of their main producers died. He passed like 3 months ago of cancer. His name was Fetz.
Oh, okay. Damn.
Yeah.
Rising Paradise, man. I didn't even catch that there.
Yeah. Y'all in the garage?
Man, okay, okay. Right. So, what kind
She
of
come.
numbers did that Six and Baronne do?
Six and Marone sold 70,000 independent.
And that's some nice numbers. That's some hella nice numbers
Yeah,
back
that's
then.
a hell of a nice number coming out the gate and independent. That's a hell of a nice number. We saw some nice change off it and everything. You know what I'm saying? But fast forward, Uptown for Life sold 350,000 independent. That's the album that got Cash Money to deal with Universal. A lot of people don't
Yeah,
know it. A lot of people do know it, but
yeah, yeah.
we the reason Cash Money signed with Universal. Got
Yes.
to deal with Universal at least.
Mhm. And that was the first album that I got. Was that UNLV?
That was the album with Dragon from the River. The name of the album
Yeah,
was Uptown for Life. Actually,
exactly.
it's on all digital outlets right now. That's the first album that we released on digital albums, on the digital outlets with Cash Money. We have more to come, but that's the first and only one from Cash Money that we released already. So that's up for purchase right now. Y'all can go download that.
Definite, man, and I'll make sure I put the link below for that, most definitely, sibling. So you beat me to it, man. You beat me to it. Drag 'em through the river, which is a classic. That's one of the most. I can't think of another New Orleans battle track harder
Yeah, yeah,
than that.
yeah. That was it. That was a record there, man.
The beat, that little sample of the guy screaming, like
Right.
paint that picture, man. Break it down,
Actually,
sibling.
that's mystical. It was Dragon from the River was a diss song towards Mystical, and it was put out in '96. Actually, it came about because Mystical wanted to do he wanted to wall wax, and wall wax is like battling on going battling with songs, dissing each other.
Yes,
So we wasn't really for it, but that's what he wanted to do, and I was like, all right, if he make noise doing it, then we gonna come back at him. Well, actually, he made two songs about us. One song didn't make any noise, and we didn't even put a song back because it didn't make any noise. But the second song did. He called Yella a coward, and everybody was on that song,
hey,
and we
hey.
was like, man, we gotta get him.
So don't go too fast, sibling. So Mystical's first shot at you was on what was that? Because I don't even remember him sending anything for you. So
He said, Yella, coward hearted, better drink some water. Oh, that was the line that was the line that he said. So
was that
once he said that, like I said, it made some noise,
was that like on an album? What album was that on?
and we put out two good songs. Excuse me.
What album was that song on? Or was that just a single?
I don't remember his album titles. I don't know what
Okay.
album that he put it on, but the album we put the two diss songs on. From the round called Boom Get Chopped.
Right.
So we put both of them out, you know, try to stop him with that. Just so happened Dragon ended up being a classic, man. And I tell you to this day, bro, everywhere we go, we hear that song, some way, fashion, or form. You know.
That's live. That's why. Listen, just
What up,
before
Nick?
I was I was jamming that there just before we did we started setting up mine because I wanted to get into that there mine. I said just
Hello?
before just before we was getting into the interview, man, I had to jam some of that there, man, some of that Dragon Through the River and a couple other tracks off that album.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a hell of a song, man.
And what was this cheerleader thing? I was always curious
Yeah,
about.
we was talking about it, but we was facting in the song. He really was a cheerleader, and we real cool with Mystical. I mean, he wasn't. I'm not saying he a homo or nothing like that, but he really was a cheerleader. We was in high school. He was in the 12th grade. We was in the 10th grade. We was musicians. We was in a band.
Mhm.
Mystical really was a cheerleader, man.
So
So
for now for people in Europe, we don't really have much of that going on, right? So a male being a cheerleader, is that is that the guys who like throw the women up, like the little girls in the air and all that kind of stuff, or they got pom poms and all that kind of stuff as well?
hello.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. Yeah, you
Yeah,
catch any of that?
yeah. Mel being a cheerleader. What you were saying?
Yeah, yeah. So is he the one throwing the girls up in the air and all that kind of stuff and catching them, or has he got pom poms waving around?
Nah, he didn't have pom poms. He had a little bit of shorts, but he was like actually flipping with the females and holding up the females and stuff like that. You
Okay.
know, stuff like doing the cheers. He used to do the cheers.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me.
So that was
Yeah,
real, man. So that was real. That wasn't. That's just.
that was real, bro. It was real, dog. And the thing about it, the whole city, especially during our time, the whole city knew that it was real. So it really fucked him up.
and
He on our documentary talking about it. So y'all get a chance, y'all could search YouTube and search UNLV, the legendary true story. And y'all will see him on our documentary actually talking about the song.
yeah, man. Again, I'll put links below for that there. So that was a nice documentary. Still, that put a lot of facts behind, the group itself. Um,
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
So based upon those two tracks that y'all put out, was that the reason why Big Boy Records and Cash Money's had that little beef kind of thing going on?
No, because before Mystical even came at us, we had beef with Partners in Crime, and Partners in Crime was one of Big Boy's biggest sellers.
Yes.
And that was real beef. We would see each other and fight and everything over music.
Was it just was it
You
just
know,
was it just blatantly over music and y'all on different sides, or was it because they was in the mouth? Where were Partners in Crime from? Are they from the same? They're from the same place as you?
they was from uptown, but they wasn't from the third ward. They were from the 17th ward.
Okay.
They were from uptown, and I mean, it's crazy because we best of friends now, and we glad it turned out that way because a lot of rappers died because of beef and all that kind of shit. And
Yeah.
we glad it didn't end that way. It turned out that way. But it was just beef that we didn't know what we was beefing for. Everybody was beefing for something different.
Yeah.
But Mystical came along like later in the years, and from by him signing with Big Boy before No Limit, everybody was thinking that was the real beef. But the beef was with Partner in Crime.
Okay. So when did that stop? When did that get squashed in? I guess that would have been what, like 98 kind of times, 98, 99 times when you squashed the beef with PNC?
That beef stopped like I want to say 98, right? Excuse me, right after Yella died.
Right.
Right
Oh,
after Yella died, we start, seeing eye to eye with PNC.
okay, okay.
Well, a couple of years after he died, actually.
And have y'all put any music out together?
Excuse me.
Have y'all put out music together? PNC and UNLV.
Yeah, we done a song. We done a song. We haven't done one with just UNLV and PNC, but we done a song with like a compilation song with them, and we also done a song with Lil Slim with them. But we have some shit in the making.
Yay,
And when Tech come home, it's going down, man, big time.
for
We got big
sugar.
plans.
Hey, all right
Hell
then.
yeah.
So let's get into that tech mine. When's tech coming home?
He should be home before March, but it may be this year sometime.
Yay. Okay.
He's waiting to be released, actually. They say he could be released any day, but he parole in March. So he could be home before March.
Give thanks. And I'm also hearing that B Jeezy, aka B Jizzle, might be coming home hella soon, right?
Yeah, he coming home soon. His time is almost up.
For sure, man. For sure. Have you heard any news on Lil McKinney, Lil Mac?
Hopefully Mac get out soon too, man. It's looking good for She Murder. That's like a big time. Free She Murder, free Mac. But I don't know what it's looking like for Mac, but I know it's looking good for She Murder right now.
That's real good, man. That's real good. I'm kind of from the outside looking in, I'm a little disappointed with, the stance that P's taken from time to time, and then, he's kind of wavy with that. 1 minute it's all on C, and the next minute he's defending C and wants C out and all that there. I know it's family and stuff, and I don't know the inner workings and all that, but you just need to be
Yeah,
you need to be united, man. Do whatever you need to do to get your brother out, man. Because we know, well, only the most high and C Murder and whoever else is involved know what truly happened. But based upon the evidence brought forth, we know C didn't do that there. Crazy.
you're breaking up.